The story of how I told my family what my cousin had been doing to me from as far back as I can remember. It actually started with a younger cousin of mine, a young girl cousin of mine who came out. She had so much courage, and she came out and told the family first. I was so devastated that I had not had that courage to come out and tell the family. So when she had, I then followed suit and told them that the same cousin had been doing the same thing to me, and that I did not have the courage at the time to tell them, but I wanted to corroborate her story. It was not so much about me, in that it was I wanted them to believe her. The way the family reacted was not ideal. Probably one of the worst things that family members can do in a situation like this, or anyone that can do in a situation when someone comes forward to share this horrible story of what happened to them, is to make it about them. Not about the victim, not about the survivor, but they made it about them. So either they wanted revenge because they were hurt because of how it made them feel. Not once had anyone thanked me for telling them. Not once had anyone asked what they could do to help me. And in addition to that, there was, the cultural stigma of, don't say anything, don't tell anyone. And that also played a huge part in family members simply not believing. So how that then made me feel was even worse, less than. There was no support for me as the individual. And they couldn't understand why I hadn't said anything. They took it very personally, those who did believe. So it's a very strange undertaking, and that sticks with you. That stays with you for a very, very long time. And it adds to the questioning that you're already doing, the questioning that you're already having with yourself all the time about whether or not it was your fault, if things were different, et cetera, et cetera. But then it adds another layer to it. Well, did I do something wrong? In that I didn't say anything, but it was hard for me. It had nothing to do with anyone else. It was just hard for me to talk. Not acknowledging and being there for the victim further victimizes the victim. It's absolutely imperative that if someone who has suffered this kind of trauma comes to you in confidence, comes to you or trusts you enough with that information, that you thank them for telling you. Ask how you can help. Listen without judgment. That is so very important, because for someone to come up out of a situation like that and come to you, huge. It's a step that they've taken. So please don't judge them in the process, and keep supporting. Just because survivors survive it, and because they're living their life day to day, and it looks like they're thrilled and they're happy and they're joyful and they're loving their life and everything is great, it does not mean that everything is great. This is something that is upon them for the rest of their lives. And oftentimes it'll open up even without their knowing that it has or expecting that it will. So be very supportive.